TIFU by gaslighting myself for 10 years into thinking I was caffeine immune while drinking NLY Monster Energy Zero. Hey everyone, this is a throwaway account because I feel incredibly stupid. I recently saw a Reddit post from a guy who drank nothing but Coke Zero for years and spent a fortune on doctors trying to figure out why he had chronic headaches, only to find out he was just severely dehydrated or allergic to the ingredients of Coke Zero. It was a funny read because it felt exactly like what happened to me, but with a M on the can. I'm 30 now. For the last decade, Monster Energy, Absolutely Zero, the blue one, was my only source of hydration. It started around age 20 with 1 or 2 of the Zero cans a day. By the last 3 years, it had spiraled into a minimum of 4 to 5 cans every single day, morning, noon, and night. When I say I drank only Monster, I mean it. I would have maybe 1 glass of water when I woke up, and 1 before bed if I felt particularly dry, but for the other 16 hours of the day, only Monster. Water wasn't even in my vocabulary. I was conditioned. It was a Pavlovian response. The moment I sat down at my computer to work or game, I needed that ice-cold can from the fridge. Nothing else tasted right. My brain performed Olympic-level mental gymnastics to justify this. Because I could drink a Monster at 11 p.m. and still fall asleep, I convinced myself I had developed a caffeine immunity. I genuinely believed my body just didn't react to it anymore. I ignored the science and the common sense because I didn't want to give up my ritual. For years, I've been dragging myself to doctors, frustrated because I felt chronically flat and exhausted, despite being pumped full of stimulants. I was ashen, incredibly pale, and recently I noticed my dark eye circles were getting so bad I looked like I hadn't slept since 2014. I couldn't lose weight to save my life, even while being in a massive calorie deficit. My metabolism was basically stuck in a permanent error state. I'd get random heart palpitations or a racing pulse while just sitting still, which I knew came from the caffeine, but still was able to ignore it. 1 to 2 months ago, it clicked for me while I was researching my dark eye circles. I realized I probably wasn't immune to caffeine. I was just heavily conditioned and dangerously dehydrated/stressed. The concept of hydration and high caffeine levels were something I had pushed out of my mind for 10 years just to protect my habit. Then I finally cut back. I now limit myself to a maximum of 2 cans, and never after 3 p.m. Everything else is water with lemon. It sounds so simple, but it is still quite hard for me to stay away from the Monster to drink when I am thirsty. The Monster Absolutely Zero just has this nice "kept that much." Sadly, there are no caffeine variants available. It's honestly fascinating, and embarrassing, how much we can manipulate ourselves just to keep an addiction going. I'm sharing this as a final closing chapter for myself. Hopefully, it serves as a warning, or at the very least, you can all laugh at how dumb a person can be for 10 years straight. If you have questions, feel free to ask. TIFU. We put the fun in funeral. I and 2 other mates call each other Blade in honor of the one and only Blade, Wesley Snipes. I don't know why either. One of the Blade trios just had a death in the family. We've known each other for more than 2 decades, treat each other like siblings. One of the Blade's brother passed away, and it was heartbreaking for the family. Being such good friends, we decided to send our love through some sympathy flowers. Had them delivered to the funeral home with that huge ribbon with a print saying, "Love, Blades." Thoughtful, right? Let our best mate know we love him. When we entered the funeral, there was a huge commotion. The mother was freaking out about some flowers. Who put them in front? Who would send these? What kind of monster would do this? That's when we found out he died by suicide, with a blade. P.S. A cousin saved the day and say, "Oh, that's probably from one of our hardware suppliers." P.S. His mother already hated me before this. Don't want to give her more reasons.